The average microgym exists in one of the two main operating models that exist today. I'm going to review those two, and then today I want to add a third one that I've been testing and hypothesizing on for over a year, and now that I've seen and had enough, Gladwell hours mixing and matching versions of it within other microgyms and seeing how it works out, now I want to share it with you guys to see if this third operations model might be something that would work well for your microgym. Hey guys, I'm Stu with What the Fuck Gym Talk, and I solve problems for microgym owners. And one of the problems most microgym owners have is maybe they're operating under the wrong model. B, they don't even know which model they're operating on. They don't even know what the various operating models that exist are. Or number three, none of the two that have been predominantly effective and popular in the microgym industry really fit their current desires for their business. I'm going to be reviewing that third one here today. So when we're talking operation models, guys, or operating models, there are two that have kind of been around in the fitness industry for the microgym scene since this whole boutique microgym thing popped in around the 2010 time, and that is straight to class and PT first. If you've never heard of these terms, I promise you've interacted with them in real life application. In a straight to class model, which would be Orange Theory Fitness, Barry's Boot Camp, any companies or any services, any boutique microgyms in which you go straight into class. You literally can show up, try out the class, buy a membership, and go straight to the class. Yoga studios, spin studios, HIIT studios, some CrossFit gyms, that's pretty much the model or the operating model that they exist under. Now, when CrossFit hit the scene, because it's a more complex fitness program, you had people doing these gymnastics movements and Olympic weightlifting and very advanced shit, we saw a huge call to action for gyms to start running with a PT first model. And I'm not the first guy to advocate this. Amazing companies like Active Life and Mad Lab and other organizations have really pushed for PT first. PT being personal training, meaning what we're about to do is pretty fucking difficult. So I can't just send you straight to class. I need you to have some prerequisite education and training so that you don't get hurt, so you don't feel lost, so you have a successful client experience. We see this in other industries as well. If you're going to go skydiving, right? If you want to go rock climbing at a facility, if you want to take guitar lessons, you just don't get up on stage. There's generally a prerequisite amount of one-on-one type of instruction prior to you getting deep into the group thing. So they have pros and cons, and that's not what this video is all about. If you want to get more into these models and how to install these two specifically, highly recommend you check out Microgym University. It is the only online business school for microgym owners. Down in the description below, there's a link. You can go get enrolled. $50, cancel anytime you want. Trust me, it is well worth your time and energy. But the straight to class model is great. It's easier to market. It's much easier to create front-end offers and evergreen offers for something that is straight to class. You can have a much bigger funnel and you can have a much higher volume of client acquisition. Now, it is less complex, meaning the fitness model attached to these types of businesses is generally less complex. We're not going to do straight to class with a fitness model that is extremely, extremely difficult for safety, efficacy, just basic probably ethics as a coach or a trainer. You wouldn't want to just throw someone into a group class where they're learning how to overhead squat for the first time. It's not ideal. It's not the right way to take care of a customer. And then there's the PT first model. And in the PT first, with the things we see are you make a lot more money up front and it has higher retention. And that retention is mainly just the byproduct of spending one-on-one time with a coach. And if any of you ever came from the personal training side of the fitness industry, you know that those clients have generally the longest lifetime client value and the longest LOM, length of membership, than regular group fitness clients, because real relationships can happen in an hour or a half-hour session. It's really hard to create meaningful relationships when you're splitting up 1 hour amongst 20 plus people in a group class. Now, the one thing about PT First I got to make note on, it is a very high HR demand. You need more staff, you need more space to be conducting these things. You're going to be having group classes happening in parallel with these personal training sessions. Obviously, personal training requires one-to-one human interaction, so you need more coaches. There are pros and cons to both. Again, get enrolled in MG if you want to deep dive into those. But I want to introduce you to the third model. The third model is PT second. So there's straight to class, PT first, PT second. And I want to summarize exactly what it is. So PT second allows us to advertise and market with the power and the volume of a straight to class model. Okay, we're not having to go ahead and put $200, $400, $800 of personal training as a barrier to entry in a PT second model. And for some of you that are running this straight to class model because you like the volume, maybe you have very high overhead, so you have to have a very high churn of customers, this PT second really might interest you. Now, with PT second, essentially what we're doing is we are advertising the group program, allowing people to come in and join straight to class. But Stu, what if my program is really complex? What if, for the reasons you suggested earlier, I can't go straight to class because I am teaching people how to do kipping handstand push-ups and they're using advanced exercise movements and they're things that do require one-on-one. This is where there's now needs to be some adjustment on the programming, the fitness programming of your group class within your company. And what that needs to be is that needs to be done on a movement pattern-based programming instead of movements. For example, I'm going to use a CrossFit gym. A CrossFit gym programs a workout for a day, and the day's workout might look like this. We're going to do 5 rounds of 10 deadlifts, 15 box jumps, 20 pull-ups, and we're going to run 400 meters. So they program the movements, all right, movements. Instead, what you do in a PT second model is you program movement patterns. Now, this is going to require you to re-educate current customers and have education available for future customers. You will have to rewrite the way you verbalize and articulate and write down the programming. But instead of doing the deadlifts, the box jumps, the pull-ups, and the running, you would say, hey guys, for today's workout, we're going to do 4 rounds and we're going to go ahead and do something of a compound hinging resistance training movement. Here are all the different options you have to pick from. We're going to go ahead and do conditioning, body weight conditioning. We're going to do vertical pulling. We're then going to go ahead and get some monostructural conditioning in, which would be running, rowing, biking, something on a machine or outdoor running. So you've essentially gone from programming movements to movement patterns, and then you would have to have a repertoire or a toolbox of different movements in each of the movement patterns you have created. And again, this will all be based on your unique belief in fitness. But then clients are like, oh, okay, so it's hinging. So I'm gonna do kettlebell deadlifts. Another client's gonna do RDLs. Another client's I'm gonna do deadlifts. Awesome, good, great, grand. You've picked your movements. You're good to go. Vertical pulling. One client's going to go ahead and do a modified pull-up. One's going to do it with a band, and one's going to do a strict pull-up. Cool, good to go. The conditioning at the end, the body weight conditioning. Someone's going to do box jumps. Someone might do box step-ups. Some person might just go ahead and do burpees. They have conditioning elements to pick from for body weight. Now, you've got to imagine this. I need you to kind of break your train of thought to see this through. But when you are now programming based around movement patterns and not movements, guess what becomes the social currency that is desired? Being able to do the more advanced movements. You already have a gym probably, and you already have clients who are on those advanced movements. You are bringing in new people, and you're thinking about how to integrate this personal training, and you're thinking about doing PT second. Well, guess what? They get to jump in and join straight the class. They know that your programming is based off hinging, single leg knee flexion like lunges, double leg knee flexion like squats, vertical pressing and pulling, horizontal pressing and pulling, conditioning, and hybrid movements that involve the lower body and the upper body like a thruster or something like that. So you have these movement patterns, you have all the movements that are available, and you have your entry-level tiers of these movements within the movement patterns that your new clients get to do. So when they come in, they know they are picking from these specific blocks of movements. Well, hey, listen, I've been here for like 3 months, and I'm really enjoying it. But my buddy Tom is actually the reason I joined over there, and Tom's doing all this advanced stuff that I'd really like to do. How do I get to do some of the stuff he's doing? Oh, well, since we don't teach that in class, because again, the job here in class is to coach you on the floor, not teach you individually movements when I have 20 other people. You get to book advanced skill sessions, advanced movement sessions. I don't care what you call it, guys, but you're going to then sell them personal training. You're going to sell them PT based on what they want. Because if you do PT first, what you have to accept is that you're teaching everyone all the complex movements and they might not want half of them. With PT Second, they get to buy the complex movements that they want. Like, hey, listen, I've been watching people snatching, or I've been watching people doing kipping pull-ups or climbing ropes, and that looks dope. I want to do that. How do I do that? Well, you get to spend one-on-one time with one of our coaches. It might take a couple sessions, and we're going to build you up your capacity so that you can now do that in class, and you'd be, checked off, good to go, and you'd be able to now perform those movements in class. You see where I'm going with this? This is a broad overview of PT Second. Essentially, we bring everyone in through a straight-to-class funnel with a straight-to-class marketing approach, and we allow them to determine how deep they want to go into the depths of advanced movement within your complex program. Okay? For those of you guys who are watching this and you don't have complex fitness programs, PT First is probably not for you. PT Second probably isn't for you. You might be able to make it work, but just stick with straight to class for the most part. But those of you guys who do have those complex fitness programs, PT Second could be a great way for you to get people in quicker, get them started, and then sell them PT on the back end. I hope this was helpful. I've got a brand new course in Microgym University that is dropping on this topic entirely. What it is, how to install it, how to price it, how to pitch it, everything you could think of inside of Microgym University. Click the link in the description below. Guys, until I see you in the next video, have a great fucking day.